everyone, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I'm back today with the Eureka Crystal Beads collection for the month of November 2020. We're going to check it out and see what it's all about. I want to let you know that this is not a subscription box. These collections come out on the first Thursday of the month, and you're free to pick and choose this collection or any of their past collections that they have available on their site. So I will leave the link for this one as well as all of their past collections right down below the video so you can check those out. Let's open this up and check out what our theme is and get a sneak peek of what we're about to see. Oh, doesn't that look cozy? Oh my goodness. You can see the mountains in the background and that starry night and the warm and cozy cabin back there. Let's open it up and see what the theme is called and also get a rundown of what is on the list of contents. All right, so here's a sneak peek of our bag of goodies. And it says, as the light wanes beyond the darkened pines, the fresh snow glitters like the galaxy of stars above. Your cozy cabin awaits, a respite from the outside world, and perfect for doing some cozy beading too. And as we open this up, we'll take a look at what our theme is actually called and get a look at our list of contents. All right, so everything is laid out and nicely organized. They also have included the SKU numbers next to everything so you can look up exactly what it is you're receiving. And in cases where you see a hash mark and another SKU number listed, that's one of those either or items, so you'll be surprised as to which one you will get. They would both be equal in value and very similar, but it allows Eureka Crystal Beads to be able to have more collections available for more people. You can see our theme is called Mountain Twilight. So while you're beading, put on that fuzzy sweater and turn on that warm fire and get cozy while you enjoy these gorgeous contents. You can see everything's broken up by type. We have a Japanese seed bead section, check glass, findings, semi-precious, Swarovski crystal, and then other crystals. There's also a free gift listed, and that is available for the first 100 collections ordered only. So we'll see what that is, and that could vary from person to person as well. The collection this time costs $60, and that is a savings of $15 over the retail price if you were to pick and choose and purchase everything on the list. And as a reminder too, if this collection is sold out by the time that you are trying to order it, you can put your email address on their waiting list and they will notify you when it comes back in stock. And of course, EurekaCrystalBeads.com has an awesome online store where you can purchase any of these items individually if you want to, instead of picking up the entire collection. But I highly recommend these. They're very inspiring. With all that information out of the way, let's dive into this deep blue, sparkly, and cozy color palette. All right, we're gonna start our Mountain Twilight tour with number 1, which is a container of these long drop Japanese seed beads. Aren't they gorgeous? So the color I received, it's actually more of a frosty clear. It's got an AB finish. You can see a little bit of a rainbow and matte as opposed to shiny, which I think is so pretty with the AB finish. It looks like it's got an internal glow. Definitely excited to get these. It's something different. And if you remember from last month's collection, they included a mix of all sorts of fun different colors in a smaller size. So this is to let you guys know that they are going to start carrying more of these Miyuki drop beads. And this is another example in a larger size that you can check out on their website. The next container I have is a tube of Miyuki seed beads in the size 11. You can see this kind of also matte and very deep navy, perhaps iris type of mix. It's got a little bit of purple and green in there as well. What a beautiful combination. These are all very high quality Japanese seed beads in this section, which are great for all types of beadwork. And you know that these beads are going to be very uniform and just more pleasant to work with. All right, the third tube that I'm holding, this is a Miyuki bugle bead mix. So that's interesting. It's got all sorts of different colors that correspond to our theme. And this is actually really nice for if you're doing smaller projects because you can get a mix of all different colors that you can separate out if you want to. instead of buying a whole tube of one color and having to buy multiple large tubes. So that's kind of a neat idea, getting a mix from time to time. And you can see it not only has the 6mm, the larger ones, but it has the 3mm size as well. And then for tube number 4, we have another seed bead mix. This is called the Miyuki Multi Beads Mix. There's 10 grams inside of all sorts of different rich blue and sparkly silver or clear seed beads. I'm seeing some more drops. I'm seeing some more bugles, some various sizes of Miyuki seed beads, a lot of them with the silver lining. So again, great for small projects and great to go with our theme. You get a lot of different things to work with. I'm sure it's deceiving how much is actually in there. Next up, we have a tube of Toho size 15 round seed beads, something I always find comes in handy with these collections because I'm always reaching for a size 15 personally. I don't know about you guys, but it's nice to have in these mixes. 11/0s, of course, are very common, and sometimes you need that little smaller size to fit into just the right spot. So you can see the color I received here is this cobalt blue with the rainbow finish and that transparent glass, very glossy, and a beautiful pop of contrasting eye-catching blue. The very last tube in this section for our seed beads, these are also something new to Eureka Crystal Beads. These are Magatamas, and it's a tube containing the 4mm size. There's 10 grams inside of this tube. And kind of like that first tube of drop seed beads, these are also clear with an AB finish, and they might even be a very slight gray, but they've got the AB finish, they're just not frosted. And you can see how these beads are very similar to the drops. You have that oblong shape and the rounded bottom, and again, very precise and excellent quality. Those are gorgeous. All right, so the next stop on our winter stroll are the check glass beads, and these, of course, are our classics and sometimes an interesting and fun shape. We're going to start out with an adorable pressed glass shape. These are the 8mm check glass heart beads, and it says there's 20 pieces on the strand. As you can see, these are a beautiful, deep, saturated, metallic blue, just a slight heart shape, nothing too obvious, and something fun and different besides just getting some basic rounds. Basics are very important though, of course. We're going to start out with a strand of 2mm check glass fire polish beads, and there's 50 pieces on this strand. You can see this very shimmery and glossy, deep blue iris type variegated mix, kind of similar to those 11/0 seed beads, just shinier with the mix of blues and purples and greens and a little bit of gold. Going up in size just a little bit, we have a strand of 3mm check glass fire polish beads, again 50 pieces on this strand. And this time we have this dove gray with this shimmery, very light golden dusting over the top. Definitely gives me that feeling of shimmering stars in the sky or the moonlight on the sparkly snow. And speaking of sparkly snow, here's our third fire polish strand, this time in a 6mm size, so just a little bit larger. You can see all the beautiful facets, and again with the shimmery golden dusting that is lightly sprinkled over the top or sprayed over the top on the frosty, clear, matte background. And then next we have two more staples. We have two strands of Druck beads. This one is in the 3mm size, nice long strand here of 100 pieces. And I received mine in this rich blue color, matches that evening sky we see back there in the picture in the background. And who can't use more check glass round beads in beautiful colors? Here's the next strand. This one is also blue, but in a different shade. This is a lighter tone of blue. Also a very long strand with 100 pieces on it. Another color that will work beautifully with our theme and hopefully inspire you to come up with some new and fun projects. Then finally, for our check glass section, we have a tube of prong beads. This is a 2.5-inch tube, and the color I received are the silver. You can see how they look like a little tooth. They're pointed on the front and have that hole there toward the back. I have a couple of designs that utilize these particular shapes, and lots of different shapes for that matter if you are newer to my channel. So a great addition to our mix, not only getting the basics in beautiful colors, but also a tube of a shape that's different if you're not used to playing around with things like that, and also some really sweet pressed glass hearts. Now this is a section where it's got some of the either or type of situations. So for example, the 3mm fire polish strand might be a little bit different, as well as the strands of druck beads, but there'll be something that's very similar, and the color palette will be just as appropriate for the theme. They do a great job with that, and you should be able to see what you're getting at the time that you place your order. They do list everything out individually at that point. All right, our next section is our findings. Let's go ahead and get into that. And the first item in that section is this one. It's a bag of beaded mystery chain, 16 inches, and there's 2 chains inside plus 1 free. So you're not really sure exactly which color or variation or style you're gonna get, but it should be something similar to this. And that's great that there's 3 strands inside. Oh my goodness, I love these. A lot of the work is done for you in terms of these wire wrapped beads. So these would be great for a quick project, especially if you just cut these up in sections and maybe add something else in between. They'd be great for a beaded lanyard. Pretty cool. So I received 3 strands that go really well with our theme. 2 of them include these bluish glass beads, and then this one has tones of gray or silver. This one's got a silver wire. This one has a, well, it looks to be antique brass, and then a gunmetal type of dark gray tone. And once again, these are 16 inches in length, so you really get a lot to work with. Our next bag contains 24 pieces of rose Montes. These are the SS20 size. The color is a deep grayish blue, perhaps a Montana blue with a silver toned background. And these, of course, you can use in bead weaving or embroidery, all different types of projects. And I have a bracelet tutorial that uses these. So just another example of all the different types of things Eureka Crystal Beads has to offer, no matter what kind of beading you're into. Here is the next item on the list. These are 2 12mm sew-on Rivoli settings, and I'm sure these will be coming in handy for perhaps 2 Rivolis we'll be taking a look at in our next sections. So we have these in the silver tone. We've also received 2 lever back style ear wires in the 17 by 10mm size to make ourselves a beautiful pair of earrings. A couple of other very handy items. We have some silver tone wire guards and also some silver tone 7 by 3mm clamshell bead tips to hide those knots. And all of these silver findings coordinate with each other so you can make some things directly from the contents. And lastly, for this section, we have a bag containing 2mm Rolo chain. There are 2 feet inside of this bag. And here's what that chain looks like. Definitely a very usable size, and the links still being large enough that you could add some wire wrapped loops onto this or take advantage of those large openings. All right, next we have one item in our semi-precious section, and these are the 2mm Montana Blue crystal quartz beads. There's approximately 190 pieces on this strand, and they are already sparkling away in the bag. Let's take them out because I've been really enjoying these tiny quartz crystal beads. This strand is absolutely beautiful, don't you think? If I had to pick one strand that really sums up this entire collection, I think this would be it. Mountain Twilight. It's got the perfect shade of deep night sky blue and all of the sparkle that you'd expect from a wintry, starry sky, and the reflection on snow or ice. They're so delicate with all their little facets. All right, now we're going to get into our Swarovski section, and look how beautiful our bead mat is already. I know I usually say that, but I love to just stop and pause and take a look at how everything is coming together around their theme. You can really tell how much thought and care that they put into these collections when you start to see the bead mat take shape around the picture and really get a feel for the inspiration behind it. All right, so for Swarovski, the first item we have are 2 pieces of 12mm crystal Rivoli. So these will go very well in our sew-on settings. And these are stunning, as Swarovski crystal rivolis usually are. Just so precise and perfect and shimmery. And this is another one of those items where they have several different options that you may receive based on when you place your order and what they have at the time. They are pre-packaging some alternates, like I said, so they can offer these collections to more people and not sell out quite as fast. So some lovely, very deep Montana blue crystal rivolis, as well as some settings to go with them. And then the next item in that section is this bag, which contains a mix of Swarovski pearls. And that's the first time they are including Swarovski pearls in one of their collections. And of course, they are fabulous, great quality. Even the weight of them is just so similar to a real freshwater pearl. There's 10 pieces inside the bag, and I just love this mix of the blues and the pearlescent white. They are very smooth and great quality. Like I said, we have these two that are a little bit more glossy, and then we have some with a bit of an iridescence to them, all in shades that coordinate with our theme. And then for our last section, we have some more crystals to look at. We have a bag containing 30 pieces of this Preciosa crystal mix. And again, they're in gorgeous shades of cobalt blues and silvers and clear with an AB finish. And not only a mix of beautiful faceted cut sparkly crystal, but also different sizes. We've got our different shapes of drops, as well as some bicones and even some faceted rounds. And we've been getting some of these Preciosa mixes. I've been finding they come in handy, especially when making something small like a pair of earrings where you just need maybe 2 to 4 of the same thing. All right, our final item on the list is in this bag. It's a strand of 3x2mm Chinese crystal rondelle beads. There's 190 pieces on this strand. So yet even more beautiful, rich blue sparkle to add to our collection and to round it out. And it also gives you a great idea, if you're not already familiar with Eureka, how many different types of products they carry. And this is just really only scratching the surface. So if you like these items, you can probably count on the fact that they have them in all different sorts of colors, possibly different shapes and sizes. So many things to choose from on their site. The last bag I have over here, like I mentioned, is the free gift, and that's available to the first 100 people that order the collection. And the bag that I received contains 4 snowflake charms. Aren't those sweet? They are super shiny and smooth too, and they come with their own jump ring and will be great to pop on a bracelet or something near the clasp to add that fun extra detail. All right, guys, so that is everything for the Mountain Twilight collection from Eureka Crystal Beads. As a reminder, it's not a subscription, so you can pick and choose any of their collections that you'd like and even purchase past collections that are still available. I have an unboxing video for each and every one and usually a tutorial to go along with it. Here's an example of a bracelet that I made from last month's pumpkin collection. I'll be sharing the tutorial for this month, so stay tuned for that. And hopefully something beautiful and fun, I'm sure, from this collection as well. I know I've said it before, but these are hands down my favorite thing to share with you guys each and every month. I'm so inspired by what they send and their themes and the high quality of everything. And you get such a good mix of different types of beads, from your different shapes of seed beads and sizes, precision cut crystal, and basics like your drux and your fire polish, your findings, and then some extra little surprises smattered in that are all different in their own right and make one collection just a little bit different from the next. So I want to give you guys a huge thank you for being with me today to be able to share this with you. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you'll give this video a big thumbs up if you did. And please subscribe while you're there. I'd love to have you with me for future unboxings and tutorials. Also, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think of this month's collection. Maybe if you have a favorite item in the collection or anything else you'd like to say. You can also check down below the video for links to all of my social media handles. I'd love to have you following along with me on those as well. That's all I have for now. I just hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and you're staying healthy and creative. And as always, happy beading.